Forza Motorsport. I didn't expect to be back playing this so soon. You may remember recently I took a look at a couple of the Hyundais that were added as part of Update 17, and I kind of said, well, like usual, I'll probably leave it a few updates before I come back. But Update 18 has just released, and although it has no new tracks, it has a selection of, well, fantastic vehicles that have been added. So I kind of had to come back on here to check them out, so, well, let's see what's there. So, there are quite a number of cars that have been added to the game in this update. 3 of them are over in the showroom, so let's head over there to begin with. Firstly, we have the Lamborghini Revuelto, which is also confirmed as coming to Forza Horizon when the game releases on PlayStation 5, which I very much look forward to. But I think this kind of marks the end of Motorfest's exclusive deal for console and PC games that contain this car, or at least that's what everyone thinks, given it's taken so long to appear in other games. So yeah, that's here, and that's quite exciting. I may have to sell something to buy that. Then we have the 2014 Cadillac CTS-V Sport Wagon, which comes across from Forza Horizon 5, where it was recently added. And another car from Forza Horizon 5, the 1975 Forsberg Racing Nissan Gold Leader Datsun 280Z. So I did say there were only 3 new cars in the showroom, which was how the update released, and then each week they're adding a new spotlight car. So we already have this, the 2024 Lamborghini SC63, basically their latest Le Mans hypercar. So that is, that's just been added yesterday, I think, at time of recording this video. Then next week we will have an Oreca, which I believe is an LMP2 car. Week 3 we'll have the 911 GT3 RS from 2023, which makes its way over from Forza Horizon 5. And then in the final week we've got the 2015 Koenigsegg 1-1. That's not all though, there are 2 more cars that are new to the game. If we head over to career mode, there is the usual selection of new events. So if we go to the Velocity Tour, you can win for doing all of these the new Lamborghini Countach, which again, like a lot of the cars in this update, makes its way over from Forza Horizon. So although they've made these, I think they've put less races in these than they used to. To be honest, probably won't bother winning that one. But most excitingly in this update, the car that I think is most interesting here is this, the Lotus Evora GT430. Not to be confused with the Lotus that's coming over to Horizon 5 in the Realms update. That's an Exige, not an Evora. But I may have to go and get this one. I believe you can now obtain these cars by doing online races, so I may have to try and get that way, just in case it never comes to Horizon. I would really hope to see this make its way over to that game at some point in the future, because I think it's a fantastic car. Super limited run. I think there are only 50 or possibly 60 being made. Anyway, yeah, I love that thing, so I may have to try and get my hands on that somehow. For today's video, though, I think we should try and get our hands on the 2 Lamborghinis, well, 2 of the Lamborghinis, the Revuelto and the SC63, and give those a go, even if they are quite expensive. So then, back in the showroom to purchase the 2 Lamborghinis. Surprisingly, actually, with the discount applied, the race car is cheaper than the Revuelto. I think, though, we should start with the road car and then make our way up into the race car, so let's purchase ourselves a Lamborghini Revuelto for the first time in a Forza game. Previously, of course, only being able to drive it in Motorfest, like I said. So, we've got the orange, the white, the blue, the very nice purpley colour, which I sort of have to go for, I guess. Yellow, red, darker grey, and yeah, that's it. The orange is fantastic, but purple is purple. We must buy it. So I've come straight away into the upgrade shop, not that I'm going to do anything to this car, just to check what kind of options are available. Of course, heading straight for aero and appearance, we've got the usual Forza aero at the back, but then we've got slightly nicer integrated front and rear aero. I'm mostly looking at this because I'm kind of interested to see what it's going to be like when it comes to Horizon. We've also got the bonnet latches. I think all of this will make its way over exactly the same. And then under engine swap, we have obviously the V12. We can also put in a V8 twin turbo or a V10, which is out of the V10 cars, the Huracans. So, yeah. A few interesting upgrades, but nothing really out of the ordinary. So, I've set up a completely random quick race in the Revuelto, which has taken us to Suzuka. Oh, purple. Looks a lot better out here than it did in the showroom. I think it was a bit too dark. It's quite quick, as you might expect, for a new Lamborghini. I really haven't driven properly on this game for a long time. Certainly not anything fast or four-wheel drive, so this is probably not going to end well. When was that Ferrari added? It's a Roma, right? I don't remember that being in here. Have I just missed something? I could well have done. I don't play this game regularly enough to know the car list as well as I do on Horizon. I know that's not in Horizon. And would probably make quite a bit of sense to me there, so... Oh. I'm quite interested to see what happens with Horizon, actually, after Realms. Whether they keep adding new cars, because the developers keep leaking the Maserati MC20. They've just done it. The Ferrari just changed colour, that's interesting. Yes, they keep leaking the MC20 in all sorts of random places for Horizon. So, maybe more cars will be added, just not via new playlists. So maybe we'll see some of the cars that are in this game. Like I said, I really hope that Lotus Evora comes to Horizon, because I'd quite like to drive it without having to do lots of races to unlock it. Anyway, I appear to have got a penalty for understeering off the road. That is one thing I've noticed with this car. It's very fast, but in the corners, it sort of just doesn't turn as much as I would like. I think maybe that is just a problem with all-wheel drive cars in this game. Ooh. Finish strong. It's a lot quieter on the inside. I can barely hear it. I mean, I guess V12 Lamborghinis are just heavy. They're not exactly known for being nimble and dynamic. They're just quite fast and quite loud. But yeah, this doesn't feel nice to drive. Yeah, I'm going to end up finishing in 11th place out of 24. That's not exactly gone fantastically, but... And yeah, it drives a bit weirdly, but... Anyway, it's cool to finally have the Revuelto in a Forza game as well as in Motorfest, and yeah, I do look forward to seeing what this is like in Horizon 5 when the Realms update and PlayStation release happens. Well, not that far away now, in about a month's time. But anyway, there we go. Onto the race car. So then, the 2024 Lamborghini SC63. It is great to see them adding some more recent hypercars. The BMW one got added not that long ago, I think. So anyway, let's purchase this, especially whilst it's discounted. Obviously only one colour because it's the racing livery. So let's buy that. So being a racing car, I'm not expecting much here. There's usually, yeah, there's restrictor plates, so you can... How do I see what it's doing to the... Ah, there you go. You can bring power up from 670 all the way to 844. But yeah, otherwise it's going to be... That's just ballast to make it heavier. Tyres, wheels, yeah. Not loads, but you can increase the power if you want to. only one track we could really bring this to, wasn't there? Not really any other suitable place to test a vehicle like this. I really hope they add more of these to go with this and the BMW and things like that they've added recently. But they do seem to be adding quite a lot of new endurance races. There's the BMW. They also added that Porsche fairly recently. I don't know if that's quite as new. Oops. Oh, I got away with that. I have a feeling the higher powered versions with the restrictor plates removed may be more accurate. This doesn't feel... It's fast, it just doesn't feel as fast as I would expect a Le Mans hypercar to feel. Interior view for that endurance racing experience. I always find it amazing how far the dashboard goes out in front of you in these things. Oh, the Porsche's coming up behind me again. I think he's going to go for it. No. The brakes are so much better than I'm expecting them to be. I keep braking far too early. I also love the brake lights. Oh, somebody else has crashed. But yeah, we've got a few. We've got this, the BMW, the Porsche. I'm not sure they're all exactly the same year. And we've of course got loads of Cadillacs, because, well, they were here since launch. So it'd be quite nice to see maybe the Ferrari or the Aston at some point. Oh, gonna be so close to being able to take this position. Not quite. Apart from the new cars, there is the usual selection of new online events, much like the campaign events we looked at. There's a couple of new race suits, and the usual long list of bug fixes and improvements, covering stability and performance, audio, rendering, gameplay, featured multiplayer, private multiplayer, tracks, and UI. Most notably, I think they've updated the audio for the 1998 Toyota Supra, which now sounds like this. The 2020 Toyota Supra, which now sounds like this. And the Ferrari 430 Scuderia, which now sounds like this. They've also moved the Nissan R390 from the Exotic GT Classic division to the early factory race car division, based apparently on community feedback. That, though, as well as the cars we've looked at and everything else that we've covered in today's video, is kind of most of what there is to the update. So for today's video, that is going to be all. As ever, do let me know your thoughts on Forza Motorsport now that update 18 has arrived. But for now, that is going to be all. So thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next one very soon.